My next guest is a longshoreman. For you kids out there, that's a... What is that?
A stevedore.
Stevedore. He,
Does that help?
See, how did I ever do this without Nick right next to me to give the... Fill in with the Cliff Note annotations. Is that the Nelsons up there?
Oh, my God.
Third row up on the aisle. The Nelsons, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
There they are.
Hey, loved it. I'm sorry, I'm filling. Anyway, he's a longshoreman who loves movies. He's here to talk about last night's Academy Awards. Please welcome a proletariat perspective on the evening's festivities. Tank Nelson, folks. Tanker! Tank Man! First band lawn I've had on the show, baby. I like it. Now, tell me about your blackboard method of movie reviewing. This is in your hometown, right?
Right.
You used to... I'll tell the people what you do.
Well, I hang a blackboard out my window. It just hangs out there, and I see a good movie. Thank you.
Wow.
My goodness.
You know, they don't give up feedback for everybody.
Was that a protest?
I guess they sensed you're an old Hendrix fan.
They were biased on today's blackboard.
But you
I put a blackboard out. Yeah, I put a blackboard out, and I put a movie you should go see. It hangs high. It's on the second floor. I've got a lot of traffic, and it's become a thing people like to do.
What is your hometown? Where is
San
it?
Pedro, California, harbor of Los Angeles.
So you see films just like this. This to me is like effective movie reviewing because it seems like everybody's in an ivory tower and they piss on these films. But this is just a regular guy like us who sees the films, and whatever you dig, you put on the blackboard, and people go to see it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's I use it like a fan's viewpoint. I go to a movie. If I don't like it, I don't say anything because I'm a big fan. If I find one I like, I put it up, and it gets lots of play.
Now, how'd you do last night? How many of those films had been on your blackboard?
Of the 6 that won. I mean, I'm taking 6 categories. I had 4. I missed the...
Who'd you miss?
I missed the girls. That's why I'm divorced. The 2 lady categories I missed.
Who'd you pick instead of Jodie Foster? I thought that looked like a rock.
I had Susan Sarandon because I thought, well, thank you, yeah. Because she was Louise, and she was truly Louise. And then in Silence of the Lambs, which is my favorite movie, I was really pulling. I mean, I was pulling hard. But Hopkins, Hopkins really overrode her. I don't, nothing against Jodie, she's a great actress, but Hopkins' role, when you see the movie, I mean, you just feel it so strongly. So I went with Susan, and I lost. It was, and the same thing with I thought that Mercedes Ruehl was fantastic. I mean, she was just, you see her, the movement, the light that she brought to it. But you see Diane Ladd, you know the back work and what she's done. You think she's going to win. And I was really trying to pick out who won and still stay with my favorites. I lost those 2 categories, but I got the other 4. I had the local paper, the News Pilot, and the LA Times. I had 2 reporters and their photographers in my front room. It's about as big as this here. And I had it on a board that was hung up, they couldn't see. And we went through the whole thing and cheered and screamed. It was I mean, for a guy like me that, that nobody listens to up till today, it was wonderful.
Yeah, Tank, isn't he? See?
Thank you.
This is the way it should be to me, this whole artistic exchange. The guy's you're so non-rancorous, and you don't have an axe to grind, man. I'd rather hear your perspective than...
Well, I'll give you a little, for instance, seeing as we're talking about it, I went to see My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah. Joe Pesci.
Pesci, yeah. And
make the board?
Oh, yes, I made the board.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the theater, 3/4 full.
The theater, I love you, man.
But it's 3/4 full, and the laughter is rolling up and down the thing. I mean, there's a slow beginning.
Right.
But good movies, lots have a slow beginning. But it's rolling.
Yeah.
People are applauding. People are going crazy. And when the girl, when she does the thing, have you seen it?
No, not yet.
Well, anyway, his girlfriend, his fiancée going to marry, she does a bit in the jury thing, she testifies. At the end, she's a mechanic, she knows all about cars, you never suspect it. And she rolls this stuff out, why it does this, why it does that, why this turns, why that. She goes on for about 5 minutes. She stops, and the whole place erupted. I mean, the audience, I'm talking to Hermosa, AMC, it erupts. Right. People are cheering, crying, yelling, screaming. And then it goes on, the movie finishes, I'm going out, and everybody around me, everybody's talking about this scene, that scene, what happened, why it did it, how it did it. It was wonderful. You go out and you can realize that everybody's going to love this movie. You don't have to look, you don't have to, I went home, whipped the board off the wall, take it in, right off, My Cousin Vinny goes down. People go by now, they honk, they wave, and they say, Vinny, Vinny! It's wonderful. It's great reaction.
Well, man, I think you can see why the movies are such magic in our life. I mean, you see how worked up he gets? That's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be.
Tanker, you got to come back more often.
Anytime
I want to
you
drive past your house sometime, see the blackboard. Where is it? San Pedro?
22nd Street in San Pedro.
Is that where the Bates Motel is?
There we have a couple.
All right, Tank. Good to meet you. We'll be right back, folks. You're good people, Tank. Welcome. We're back with my man Tank. And Tank, real quick, what's your favorite film of all time? What do you
Robin Hood.
Oh,
Robin
yeah?
Hood. Earl Flynn, 1939. Absolutely. And the reason, we only got a second, but the reason is it has a good beginning, the story carries through, and it ends. And the bad guys are bad, the good guys are good, and you go out of there and you realize you've seen a wonderful story. That's
I
what all
can't
movies
believe
are.
longshoremen like men in tights. All right. The Tanker, Jack A. We've had tonight, Leon Redbone, David Spade, Tank Nelson. He'll be back. Tank, come back and see us
Thank you,
again.
guys.
All right. Good night, teenagers.